Well, hello there, folks. About 30 seconds before the live stream started, I thought I unmuted my microphone. Thought this was going to be one of the only times since I started this new setup that I actually started talking when I meant to talk. But nope, microphone was muted. So good morning. I hope you all are having a fantastic day today. And I started off by saying that, can you guys believe that it is already June? We are halfway through 2024 already, or most of the way, pretty close to halfway, 5 full months into 2024. And it just got me to thinking, man, what an exciting time to be alive. I want to thank you all for being here. Want to give out shout outs. Eric. Hey, Eric, how you doing? Good morning, brother. I am excited to be getting together with you here a little bit later today. I got my breakfast tracked and ready to do some exciting new things, folks. Today is the beginning of a new journey for me. As you know, I've been working on my health and fitness for a long time, going back and forth. And hopefully, thanks to this gentleman here, Eric Bernstein, and I connected. We got a plan. He's going to be helping me out and working with me in some areas of my life that I need to improve in. And I am excited to get started. So thank you very much for being here, Eric. I'm excited to work with you on your journey. And, excited. You're one of the legacy members of the Inner Circle, Infinite Crypto Inner Circle Mastermind and Group Coaching Program. So I'm excited to reciprocate and hopefully help you create, the financial dreams and the financial freedom in your life that you are excited about. Good morning, Deadwood. How you doing, buddy? Thank you so much for being here. I appreciate you. Yeah, thank you for reminding everybody to hit that like button. And yeah, for sure, if you haven't subscribed to the channel already, please hit that subscribe button. We got Dave P. Thank you so much for being here, Dave. Appreciate you. And then we have a special guest in the house, Amy Lives Crypto, folks. This lady has an incredible YouTube channel, folks. So please go check out her YouTube channel and subscribe to her channel. Her and I have been corresponding a little bit in Discord, and I think we're going to be collaborating very soon. I look forward to hopefully having her on the channel so that you guys can kind of hear a little bit about her story and how she got involved in crypto. And then she's just making some incredible content, guys and gals. She did a video the other day on how to create a Roth IRA and how to put crypto into it. And I just get so excited about that topic because there's so much money to be made in crypto, and to have people teaching you how to do it to where you can actually pull your funds out down the line without owing any taxes is absolutely huge. So thank you so much for being here this morning, Amy. And hey, my sweetheart, Deanna. Hey, babe. I love you very much. This is my beautiful bride. Thank you for hopping onto the channel and helping us to have a fantastic morning. And just excited today to talk to you guys about a couple of things that have been on my heart. The title of this video, is how to guarantee winning, and quit playing not to lose. And so, this has been on my heart. For those of you that are in sports, you see it all the time. You see a football team that gets out to a nice lead in the first half, or in basketball even more, where they go into the, fourth quarter with a 10-point lead. And you can just almost tell, folks, in sports, when the mindset has shifted. And when the mindset goes from attacking and being on the offensive to that kind of a defensive play and not to lose. So often in football, you will see the team not wanting to give up the big play. So they start playing kind of more of a relaxed defense and setting back. And in the interim, while they're not giving up the big play, they start giving up a bunch of short plays. And the next thing they know, the team is down, on the 5-yard line, getting ready to score the winning touchdown, all because they were playing not to lose instead of playing to win. So often too, offensively, you'll see, football where they just start playing, like they start running every single play. And I know I'm not going to get into all the strategies, but I know there's times where when you're getting low on time, where run plays definitely make sense. But I'm talking about, 12 minutes left in the fourth quarter and they go into this conservative mode where they're just trying not to make mistakes. And folks, the reason that I bring that up is so many of us in life are playing too small, and we really do play not to lose, and we don't even realize it. And one of the most important things that I've figured out in the 50 years that I've been on this earth, folks, is that awareness is half the battle. If you can become aware of things, then you could of overcoming them. And that ought to make sense to all of you, right? Like if you don't even understand that something is a problem, or that you aren't, that you're doing something wrong, but nobody ever even points it out. You don't even realize that you're making a mistake or that you're doing something wrong. It's pretty hard to change that in your life, pretty hard to overcome it. So, key topic number one is quit playing to lose. Play to win. It's kind of a fun little story. For those of you that don't know me really well, my father was my absolute best friend in life. I mean, just, like when people asked me who my hero was, it was always my dad. My dad quit drinking about 3 months before I was born, so he was sober for 50 years. He celebrated 50 years of sobriety on May 23rd of 2023, and then he passed away on May 26th of 2023, just over a year ago. But when I was a youngster, I played a lot of pool. I really enjoyed pool. I played a lot of 8-ball. I played a lot of 9-ball. I played tournaments, and I also did my fair share of gambling. I definitely have a little bit of a gambler's mentality. I think it helps me in crypto. Have turned in and played some very serious poker in my life. But when I was a young man and early teenager, 13, 14, 15 years old, I would go to the bowling alley, and most of the time I didn't gamble for big stakes. I mean, I was 14 or 15, but I would play for enough money, $5 a game or whatever. I would play for enough money. My goal was to try to pay for the cost of the pool table by, playing different people that would challenge me. Well, one of the things that my dad always taught me in pool, and he always told me that a good offense is better than a good defense. So he always taught me to be on the offensive, to be aggressive when I was shooting pool, to try to win. If the other guy doesn't get to the table, he can't beat you. And my dad instilled stuff like that into me at a very young age. And then just even watching sports, it was my dad that, when I remember being, 12, 13, 14 years old and watching a football game and watching a team that was ahead by 2 or 3 touchdowns slowly lose their momentum and watch these other teams take over and end up beating them. And I remember my dad telling me, man, you could see it where they started playing not to lose. So folks, please play to win. And something else that is so important in life, I'm still working on this every single day. I'm definitely got a long ways to go. I don't know if I'll ever get this down, but you really got to focus on the positive. One of my good friends, hopefully I can say this the way that he said it to me, but he basically said, Brad, you got to focus on where you want to be. You got to focus on the positive. You have to focus on abundance. You have to focus on having more than enough, even when your current circumstances say that none of that is true. And for the most part, folks, all of us are going to go through that at some point in time in our life, where what we want and what we're trying to strive to get to is a long ways, at least it feels like it's a long ways from where we currently are. It's very tough sometimes to feel abundant and to feel like you have more than enough when rent is due, on June 1st, and you're still trying to figure out exactly how you're going to scrape it all together before it's late on the 5th. And I understand, I've gone through all of those things, but it's a very, I don't like the word trick, but you have to trick your mind in a sense to believe what you want is coming and to focus on that. And so, a real quick story, and then I'll get in. I can kind of see in my peripheral vision, we've got some comments and some people chatting, and I love that. So I'll go back to the comments here in a section, but I want to tell you a quick story. So when I first got involved in crypto back in 2017 and stuff, and once again, I didn't plan on this being a video where I talked about my dad a lot. It just seems to be kind of happening. But my dad was the first guy that got excited about cryptocurrency with me. He was my right hand man. We talked every single night, late at night, 11, 12, 1 in the morning, talking about our dreams, discovery of what cryptos to buy. But I'll never forget, if I said it once, I probably said it 1,000 times. Like, I don't know where it came from, why it got in my head, but I used to tell my dad all the time, Dad, crypto is so unbelievable. We are going to be so freaking rich one of these days, man. The only thing that could stop me from being a multimillionaire in crypto is if I spent all of my crypto before it went parabolic. And that might seem like a fairly innocent statement, but guess what I was doing? I was speaking a negative thing into my life. The only way that I could not make all of the money in the world with crypto was if I spent it before it had a chance to go up. Well, guess what started happening in my life, folks? I very much believe that I spoke it into existence. Little things started happening in my life where I started spending my crypto before it had an opportunity to go up. Now, I quit my job too soon. I'm the first one to admit it. I went full-time in crypto sooner than I should have. So that was an area where then for the next year and a half, I ended up spending my portfolio a lot of times to cover bills and to cover life. And by the time the market took off in 2020 going into 2021, I didn't have anywhere near as much crypto as I should have. And although I did extremely well in the last bull market, I could have done way, 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 way better. And so I'm here to tell you, I started to notice, though, I started to realize that this one little thing that I was saying, it was literally the only thing in my mind that I could think of. I knew crypto was going to take off. There was no doubt in my mind. Just like right now, folks, you are in the right place at the right time if you are investing into cryptocurrencies. Towards the end of this year, could happen a little sooner, could happen a little later, but in the next 12 months, we are going to see a bull run like I believe we've never seen before. Bitcoin is going to smash through $100,000 and go up to 125, 150, 200. Nobody knows for sure exactly where it'll stop, but we're all pretty certain it's going to bust through 100K and go up higher than 100K. That's going to create some tremendous wealth in altcoins. So you're in the same spot right now that I was in 4 years ago. And so I realized it, though. I realized that one sentence that I was saying was hurting me, and I quit saying it. I got rid of it and took it out of my vocabulary. And then, in fact, in order to replace that, instead of just not saying it anymore, I started saying, hey, I am going to be, financially free in crypto in 2021, 2022, and started speaking what I wanted into existence. And so, folks, it's a weird thing in life, but what you believe is true will turn out to be true most of the time. And whether or not it's really true or isn't really has nothing to do with it. If you can trick your brain into believing something is true, then you will start taking the actions and have the attitude as if it is true. And many, many times it turns out to be true. And that kind of reminds me of a quick story. So there was this kid that was having a lot of struggles in high school. He was doing, this is a true story, folks. I don't remember his exact name. I can find it though, but you can legit go Google this, and I promise you that this is a true story. So he was he was having a lot of trouble in high school. He was deemed, his teachers thought that he was just going to fail out, that he was never going to amount to anything. And, long story short, in his junior year, he had to take, the different tests that you start taking to see if you would qualify and where you would qualify for like colleges and stuff like that. So he studied pretty hard, but he wasn't expecting to do real well on this test, but he studied hard and he took the test. And long story short, a few weeks later, a month later, he gets the results back, and even his teachers were like astounded. So he ended up with one of the highest scores in his high school. And even on a US level, even, on the whole United States, he was like up in the top 5 or 10%. And because of that, his teachers kind of started treating him a little bit differently. And he now believed that he could do amazing things in school, and it built up his confidence. So what he started doing in the past, he didn't work very hard at school. He didn't study very hard. He didn't apply himself. He never thought he was going to be good. So he just, assuming that he wasn't going to be good, he didn't do any of the activities that would help him to be good. But once he realized that he had all this potential, he started working hard. He started studying hard. He started getting straight A's. And long story short, he went on to go to college and have like an extremely successful life. And the crazy thing about this story, though, folks, is like 15, 20 years later, like he's in his 30s now, 35 years old, he's got a successful business. He's having this incredible life. He gets a letter. I don't know why they even bothered to send this letter, but he gets a letter and he finds out well after the fact that way back in the day when he had taken that test, they screwed it up. And so I might get these numbers a little bit wrong, but like the score that they said that he got was like a 1600 out of 1700. But he finds out 20 years later that the actual score that he got on that test was like an 850. So his real score, folks, was awful. It was horrible. And they had made a mistake and got him mixed up with another student, and they told him that he got a 1600 on this test. So the fact of the matter was he did horrible on the test, and there was no reason for him to believe that he could be good scholastically and move on to college and do all of the things that he did. But because he thought he could, he could. And so what we think in life determines where we're going to go. And so often we let other small-minded people that are losing in life have way too much of an effect on us. I don't remember the exact details either. I probably need to get my stories a little bit straighter, but neither one of these stories were stories that were on my mind before we started talking today. But another story that I thought was really kind of cool was, I believe it was Thomas Edison, who his mom got talked to by one of his teachers. And the teacher basically told his mom that Thomas Edison was too stupid to amount to anything, and that she wanted to basically kick him out of her class, that he was disruptive and that he was, causing the other students to not be able to learn properly. And long story short, Thomas Edison's mom went back to him, and when Thomas asked her, hey, what did the teacher say? His mom told him that the teacher said that he was too smart and that he had too much potential, and so that they were pulling him out of school because he was making the other kids feel bad because he was too smart and he had so much potential, and that he was going to do amazing things in life, and that they didn't want to have him held back by being in this school. So that one little lie that his mom told him changed his whole life, folks. If she would have went back to him and told him what the teacher had truly said, we may or may not be sitting here with the light bulb. Or it may or may not have been Thomas Edison that created that light bulb. So What am I saying? I'm trying to tell you folks that quit listening to other people. Your dream is your dream. God made you unique. God made you special. You are one of a kind. The skills that you have, the experiences that you have, the things that you've gone through in life, they're specific and special to you. There's nobody else like you ever in the history of the world, and there's never going to be anybody like you again. And that's an amazing thing. Whether you've had good experiences or bad experiences, God can use it all to help you have a tremendous life and to have an impact on other people. So let's get into the chat here and just see what we got going on here. Yeah, Eric, I am looking forward to it too. Great seeing the group grow. Yeah, man, it is. It's sometimes it's hard to tell when we're on these live streams, but yeah, it feels like we are getting more and more new people. And then we got the old school guys. Tim G, good afternoon. Thank you for being here. Amy, thank you so much. So I don't want to take up too much of your time on this Monday. I do want to mention a couple other real fast stories though. And so one of the other things that I really love to impress upon my community and the people, that show up for these that I love so much, I care about you guys, I want to see you be successful, is I know we talk about all the time. I joke around. I've got a video where it says the 2 things that you have to do to be successful in cryptocurrency investing. And number 1, you got to get started. And number 2, don't quit. And I know that sounds so simple, folks, but it's so true in just about everything in life. Get started and don't quit, and you're going to figure out the rest somewhere in the middle. Now, of course, there's more steps to it than that, but it's just so important. Even with this new journey that I'm on, you got to get out of your comfort zone, folks. Your comfort zone is designed to keep you safe. That's one of the things about this mind of ours that drives me crazy. Our brain is so creative. It has the ability to solve any problem that it's faced with. Yet what our brain's natural tendency is to do is to keep us safe from harm. And it wants to keep us in our comfort zone. Our brain doesn't like change. So like even today, as excited as I am about this new journey that I'm getting ready to take health and fitness wise, it's all uncomfortable. Tracking the food that I'm eating, uncomfortable. Getting used to it, taking the time to do it. And then even though Eric is somebody that I've spent a little bit of time getting to know and I trust him, I'm comfortable being vulnerable with him. Thinking about these workouts, he understands some of my strengths and my weaknesses. And his goal in life is to basically, he's got a delicate balance there where he has to work on my strengths enough to where he can expose my weaknesses and get me through them without me feeling too bad about myself. But even I've been nervous. Like I thought about, it was just a fleeting thought. I got over it real quick, but I even thought about telling him today, hey man, I don't really feel that great. Let's just get together on Wednesday. Tomorrow is a cardio day for me. I can do all of that easy on my own. Let's do this test that we're going to do. So today we're going to be like doing a strength test. He's going to see how many push-ups I can do, how many jumping jacks, and just do all of these things that basically are going to show me exactly where I'm at right now, a snapshot of where I'm at right now, but it's uncomfortable. And so I'm having to fight through my comfort zone. I'm in the process of writing a book. That's uncomfortable. If any of you have ever written a book or if you've ever started writing a book, man, you write a whole page out and then you read it and you think to yourself, man, who's going to want to read this? Like, how many people is this going to offend? How many people are going to like this? How many people are going to not like it? All of these crazy thoughts come into your head. And something that's helping me is one of my mentors told me, hey, just write the book, Brad. You don't got to publish it if you don't want to. Like theoretically speaking, you get it all written. You don't ever have to share it with another person if you don't want to, but just write the book and quit worrying about what other people are going to think. I mean, even with this YouTube channel and with the short form content and everything that I'm doing, there's other people, like when I post something, I'm like, I wonder what this person is going to say about that. And I've got a person that I used to work with that's doing incredible things in life. It's, for right now, he's way further ahead of me in life. It's in the real estate business, not crypto, but he's made tens of millions in real estate, and he has an incredible social media presence. And I'm always worried about, like, when he lives here in Vegas, and I'm thinking about going to some of his events. And every time I think about going to some of his events, and we're going to show up in my Infinite Crypto shirt, and I've got my camera crew, and I'm like, what's this guy's going to be like? Hey, why is Brad here? Like, who does he think he is, walking around with a camera crew and blah, blah, blah? Like, all of these crazy thoughts will come and attack you if you let them. And so you just got to power through and do the tough things, get out of your comfort zone. And, we talk about success in crypto so often, but one of the things that I'm really trying to help you guys do in life is not just have success in crypto, but just in all of the areas of your life. And I also hope that some of you will branch out. Like, when we talk about getting away from your 9 to 5, part of that is for sure having an incredible cryptocurrency portfolio. And obviously, if you've got $1 million or $2 million laying around in crypto, that gives you a lot of freedom and the ability to make choices. But one of the things that I found, folks, is you can't just lay around on a beach sipping pina coladas for very long. Human beings are designed to be productive. So in my case, virgin pina coladas, I don't drink. But, when I first really created wealth in crypto, I did a ton of traveling, and I had a friend come to me and say, hey, I've got this business opportunity that I think, I would really like you to jump in and work with me on this. And I told him, no, thanks, man. I'm having way too much fun in life. I don't want all that responsibility. And he said, okay, all right, no problem. Like, how long have you been having fun for? How long have you had money? And I'm like, well, about the last 6 months. So up until that time in my life, I had been pretty much just, middle class, working hard, living kind of paycheck to paycheck, took a vacation now and then, but was always kind of worried about money. And when I didn't have to worry about money, I was having a ton of fun. So I told him about 6 months, and he said, well, you're going to get tired of doing nothing but having fun. Get back in touch with me in another 6 months or a year, however long it takes for you to just kind of figure out that, yeah, the freedom is incredible, but at the same time, just doing nothing but having fun gets old too. And he was so right, folks. And that's part of the reason that I started this YouTube channel. I never went back and got involved with the business opportunity that he presented to me. But part of the reason I created this YouTube channel is I realized that this was kind of my mission. This is what I believe God wants me to be doing. This is how I can help people. So, my wife and I, we go to church. We go Sundays and Wednesdays, pretty much every week. But there's also some stuff to be done on Tuesday. There's also some stuff that can be done on Thursdays and Fridays. There's a Bible study Saturday. And so sometimes my wife, God bless her, she wants me to be going to church all of these different days of the week. And a lot of times I tell her, hey, babe, I love church, but everybody here is at the church for the most part already knows Jesus. Most of them are already good. And the ones that aren't have the pastor. They have the people here at the church that are impacting their lives. Like in the Bible, it says, go out and share the gospel and help create disciples. So to me, this is my ministry. This is my ministry. This is an opportunity to help people create financial freedom in their life, and hopefully also share with them the light of Jesus Christ. Like all of the peace in my life, through all of the turmoil, all of the ups and downs, everything that I'm going through, my life is by no means perfect. I've got challenges and things that I'm struggling with on a daily basis, but because I have the peace of Jesus Christ in my life and this relationship with Jesus, I'm good. And so I'm not here to preach to you. I'm not here if you have different beliefs than me to judge you by any means. I love you all right where you are, but this is my ministry, this is my passion, and my point is, folks, I don't want to just help you guys to make a bunch of money in crypto. I want to also help you figure out what your passion is in life. Like, what are you going to do once you can do anything you want? Once you've got the money situation taken care of to where you can do anything you want to do, what are you going to do? How are you going to give back? How are you going to impact this world and make it a better place? And that's going to be a different answer to that question for every single one of you, but I'm excited to help you on that journey and help you figure it out. And that's one of the reasons that I'm so excited about my Inner Circle Mastermind and group coaching, monthly program that we have. Is through these Zoom calls, we're going to make a lot of money in crypto, but I think we're also going to help people figure out what their passion is. And some of you might bring incredible alpha to the group. Training, like for trading. I know that we've got some great traders in the group. Maybe some more of you will gravitate and get to know Eric, who's going to be in that inner circle. And maybe health and fitness is something in your life that you really want to get dialed in. So for me, I feel like my financial area of my life and a lot of the relationship areas of my life with my family and my wife and with my relationship with God, all of that is going in the right direction. It's like this. It's like, it's a heart attack chart. It's not straight up and to the right, but it's headed in the right direction. But my health is something that I really, really know I haven't been doing what I need to be doing with. And that's why I'm excited about meeting Eric. So you might get in that inner circle and the making money in crypto ends up being secondary because maybe somebody like Eric saves your life the way that I believe he's saving mine. Like, I honestly, folks, I love you all, but just being fully transparent, if I were to stay on the path that I'm on health and fitness wise, I probably got 5 or 10 more years in me. Realistically, like, I don't think that many people that are in the kind of shape that I'm in make it much past 60, 65 years old. And then even if I did make it to 65, which is 15 years, what's the quality of my life going to be for those 15 years? So we all have our Achilles heel, the thing in life that we are not maybe being successful at. And I believe that through this mastermind group, we're all going to be able to help each other in different areas and hopefully collectively really start winning at all of the areas in life. Because, man, let's face it, if you're winning at money, but you're losing in your marriage, or you're winning at money and you're losing, with your kids, that's not winning. It's the same thing with me. Like, if you're winning with money, but you're losing with health, that's not winning. I know that, we've heard it all said before, and until you're there, it probably just sounds good. But I think we would all believe it, that most people, when they're laying on their deathbed, would give away all of the money in the world for more time. And so for me, that's like my number one priority right now, is getting my health in shape. I also, as a man of integrity and wanting to be somebody that you guys look up to and want to follow, I feel like it's my responsibility to get this area of my life under control, because it's hard for me to sit here with integrity and to tell you guys that I am going to be able to help you create the life of your dreams and get to where you want to be in life, when I have areas of my life that I am clearly not winning in yet. Whoo! What else do we got going on here in the chat? Smash that like button. Thank you, Tim. Yeah, absolutely. Smash that. One day slip will magnify. Amy, it takes incredible strength to be vulnerable enough to admit things like that. Thank you. Amy, I'm not exactly sure where that comes from. I guess I've just realized that, this time on earth goes by so fast. And one of the biggest things that a lot of my mentors talk about is that one of the biggest things that holds us all back from our true potential is worrying about what other people are going to think. And that the faster that we can get to where we don't care what other people are going to think, the faster we can really live our true self. And our true self, whatever that is what is going to attract people to you, folks, whether it's good, bad, or ugly. Or I heard it said today that there is no good, bad, and ugly. We just got good and ugly good, because everything is good in some shape, manner, or form. So I really like that. There's no good, bad, and ugly. It's just good and ugly good. But so I'm really trying to break through those chains of caring what other people think. I'm not there yet. I don't know if anybody ever really gets to the point where they don't care at all, but the less you care about what other people think and you just are true to yourself, the more you're going to help other people. When it really comes down to it, that's really, if I'm being true and helping as many people as I can is really my true mission, then I just got to break through those things. So thank you for seeing that, Amy. I appreciate it, and I'm definitely something that I'm aware of and really trying hard to work on. I wish I could get family to understand they can't afford not to invest in this market to benefit them down the road. Deadwood, I think you hit the nail right on the head. I think anybody that's here on this live stream or watching this today that sees the direction that crypto is heading in feels like that. And I don't understand it sometimes either, Deadwood. It can be one of the most frustrating things in the world, especially even with as much success as I've had. And my friends and my family have had opportunities to watch the trips that we've taken, the lifestyle that we've led, some of just the amazing things that have changed over the last handful of years in our life. And yet they still are too afraid to jump in, or just don't believe that, like, they still, even after 10, 15 years of crypto being in existence now, you still got a lot of people that don't think it's going to work, that still think it's going to zero. And all I can say, Deadwood, is God gives us all different dreams. We all have different passions. And I used to think like people were weird when they didn't have this desire to get out of the 9 to 5, and like that just really enjoyed working for other people. And part of it is, when you really think about it, not every single person can go out. Well, I mean, every person has the ability to invest in cryptocurrency and change their life, but there's a huge percentage of the population. They say about 95% of the population will die broke. And what I have figured out is that no matter what I do, I can't help 19 out of 20 people. So what I figured out, and what really helped me in my life, is I quit trying to help I take that back. I still try to help the 19, but I'm not emotionally attached to it. So just like with Eric and him helping me, Eric wants to help people get fit, and he wants to help them change and transform their lives. At the same time, he can't steer a parked car. So if he's got 20 people that are all talking about wishing that they could lose weight and get healthy, he could probably back this up. He will tell you that 19 out of those 20, they talk a big game, but most of them don't do the work. And so all he can do is focus on the 5% that actually listen to his guidance and do the things that he tells him to do. And that's kind of what I found in my life. So I will talk to 20 people about crypto and really share and give them my heart and tell them how, the path that they can get on. But the 19 that don't get on the path, I love them. And I still, they can come and watch these videos, but I don't give them, my personalized attention. It's the 5%. Those of you that are on here every live stream, there's a group of you that's on here every live stream. Like, I pour into the people that I can, and that's all we can do, Deadwood, is just do what we can do for the people that are actually going to take action and do stuff. But I believe, I understand your frustration, because I've got a lot of friends and loved ones that are struggling in life. And it does. It makes me sad, man. It brings tears to my eyes when I really think about how close they are, and that, not that I'm some, that I'm anybody, important, but at the same time, they're lucky enough to know me and like actually be close enough to me to where they can call me anytime they want. And because I love them and their family, I'm going to give them my time, yet they don't take it. They don't take advantage of it. And even with my church group, guys, I got a ton of people from my church that I love on and that I share this stuff with. And, it's amazing to me that the people that are the closest to me are the hardest ones sometimes to convince of some of these things. So it is, it is what it is. What do we got? Sometimes I think they fear the unknown. They refuse to take a chance. It's very true. Most people never, ever, ever take the first step in life. And so, once again, goes back to get started and don't quit. And so I think the other stories that I was going to tell really, with the way that this went today, they're not really pertinent. And so I'll just say, get started and don't quit. One of my good buddies, a guy named David Meltzer, who's had a lot of success in life, talks about how even people that get started, they will do 50% of the work to be successful. And I love this example because it's so true in crypto, especially like crypto is such a great metaphor for life. But they will do 50% of the work that it takes to be successful. But in life, what you will find, folks, is that when you've done 50% of the work, you will not have seen 50% of the results. Most of the time, in most things in life, when you've done 50% of the work, you're only going to see 5% or so of the success. That's so true in crypto. Think about if you look at like a 4-year cycle. Let's say that you got involved in crypto right at the, towards the peak of the last bull market, November of, 2021. So you had all of 2022, November of 22, November of 23. 2 years into your journey, which is say about halfway to massive, massive financial freedom. And if you had worked real hard for those 2 years and had been investing real hard for those 2 years, what would you have to show for it? In most cases, you would have less money after those 2 years than you did before you got started, because crypto continued to go down in most of 2022 and in most of 2023. And that's really what happened to me, folks. My first bull run, when I got started, I hit the peak of the 17 going into 18 bull market, got a little taste, and then really thought that I was going to create wealth in 2018. I thought my buddy that had turned 10 grand into 2 million was looking to turn his 2 million into 10 million. And I was looking to create financial freedom in my life. And then in all of 18, I got smashed. In all of 19, I got smashed. And if I had, $5 for every time Bitcoin went from, 20,000 down to 15,000. And I told my dad, all right, man, Bitcoin just dropped from 20 to 15. We're on our way. Things are going to get good. And then it dropped from 15 to 12. And I'm like, Dad, we got to buy some Bitcoin. We got to get some crypto. It's all the way down to 12K, man. We're probably never going to see prices better than this. And then the next thing you know, Bitcoin's 10,000. And I'm like, Dad, this is unbelievable. I can't believe Bitcoin is down 50% from its all-time high. We got to get some Bitcoin. That happened all the way down to $3,200 Bitcoin, folks. Like, I am a pure testament for what I'm teaching. Get started and don't quit. I tell people all the time, the only thing that I did right in 18, 19, and 20 is I didn't quit, and I just kept buying. Like, I was naive enough to believe that eventually things had to turn around and that crypto was going to have a massive bull market. It took 3 years of losing money for it to happen, but eventually it happened. And I had so much belief that it was going to happen that I never quit. I know a lot of people that have gotten shaken out of the markets just in the last few months. They got into Bitcoin. They got excited when Bitcoin was 40, 45, 50,000. They jump in. They're excited. They think life is going to change for them. And it starts to. Bitcoin goes up to 60, 70, 73. They think they're on the verge of richness. And then what happened? For the last 3 months, everything has been pretty bad, especially in the altcoins. Bitcoin went all the way back to like 58 or something like that, and now it's back to 69. So Bitcoin hasn't been that bad. But when Bitcoin went from 73 back to 58, a lot of people gave up. So my point is, let me get back to the story. But my point is, you put in 50% of the work, and you only have 5% of the effort. And guess what happens? About half the people quit at that point. So now the other half of the people keep on keeping on. They keep on watching YouTube videos. They keep on watching, reading books and investing in crypto. And then they've got about 90% of the work done. 90% of the work done. But at that point in time, folks, you got 90% of the work done. You're still only at 25, maybe 50% of the way to success. And I'm talking about like business owners, like people that are building businesses. And I do believe that this translates into crypto too. But you're sitting there with 90% of the work done, folks, but you're looking backwards and you're like, man, I thought I was going to have millions of dollars in crypto and my portfolio is only 100 grand. You forget that you've only got 25,000 invested and that you've got, 100,000 for your 25 grand, but you're nowhere near your million or two. And guess what? 90% of the work done and another half of the people quit. So you're down to 25%. And this goes back to the get started and don't quit. The biggest thing that you have to do is just not quit, and you will outlast and become successful, unlike 99% of the population. So folks, this is where it gets really, really scary. Now you got, 25% of the people left and you're 90% of the way there. But what's crazy is that you will go do another 5, 6, 7, 8, 9% of the work. You will be at 95 to 99% of the way there, and you will still only see 50, 60% of the results, and another bunch of people quit. They're like this close. Like, seriously, guys, on my first bull market, I was sitting in a car with my dad about a month before everything took off, literally with tears in my eyes, telling him, man, we just spent the last 3 years of our life. If Bitcoin does not turn around and start doing what it's supposed to do here, I'm going bankrupt. I don't have a job at this point in time in my life. I've got, a wife and 2 kids that I'm supporting. I've got no income at that point. Like, I was just living off of my crypto and stuff. I had an OTC group and some things that were creating a little bit of income, but I didn't have like a job. So I did, I was running out of time. And, but I didn't quit, folks. I could have sold off my last $25,000 or $30,000 worth of crypto and been like, hey, it didn't work. 25 grand is still a nice little nest egg to, go do something else with in life. But thank God that I didn't, because that was in November of 2020. By December, the middle to end of December of 2020, Bitcoin had started making some big moves. I think it was January of 2021 that it broke past its previous all-time high of 20,000. And by May of 2021, it had reached a new all-time high of 64,000. And I made more money in those 5 months than I'd made in almost the rest of my life combined. And seriously, folks, when you talk about, a graph of my cryptocurrency journey, and you see this happen in crypto a lot, this is seriously my cryptocurrency journey. This was 2018. 18, 19, and 20. And if you're really looking at it, that's not even an accurate description. It was more like this. It was more like that. Like this is the from here to here was downhill. It was bad. I was down 75, 85, 95, 99% in a lot of the tokens that I have bought during this time. Stuff that I have bought in 18, by the time 20 rolled around, it was down 90%. But you know how many tokens I had that were down 90% or more that ended up making me thousands and thousands and thousands of dollars? A bunch. Like, I'm not telling you that everything you invested in over the last 3 years is all going to come back and make you thousands of dollars, but there's a bunch of it that will. I promise you, if you've been around this market long enough and you've got tokens that you bought 2 years ago that are down 75 or 85 or 90%, that's okay. They're going to come back. Something else, side note, just a little cryptocurrency tip. In some of those cases, part of the reason that I made a lot of money is I had one token, trying to remember the name of it, Telcoin, T-E-L. You can check it out, Telcoin. I want to say that I bought it originally at around a penny. And I think I invested about $1,000 into it at a penny. At its low, I want to say it was all the way down to 0.001. Like, it was down 90%. When it was down at 0.001, I bought a few more $100 worth of it, which actually, doubled or tripled my position in it and lowered my cost from a penny all the way down to 0.003 or something like that. And then when you see in 2021, it made a huge rebound. And that $1,000 that at one point in time was worth, literally at its worst, I think it was worth $25 or $50. But then I added a couple hundred more to it when it was down there. That ended up becoming worth like 25 or 30 grand. So $1,000 was worth 50, added a couple hundred to it, ended up turning it into like 30 grand during the bull market. That is going to happen. And so, folks, at the last stage there, you finally hit the exponential growth. You've done 100% of the work. You've got your freedom. You can go in and tell your boss that you can't afford to work for him anymore. Life is good. It's the beginning of a new journey. Having all of that money creates a whole new set of responsibilities and a whole new set of challenges, but it's fun challenges. It's a good part of life and a good thing to be going through. But folks, I'm here to tell you, anybody that's been in crypto long enough can verify that this is true. 95% of the time that you're in crypto, you probably aren't making a ton of money. But the 5% of the time that crypto is good, it is phenomenal. And you make so much money so fast during that 5% that it makes the rest of the 95% worthwhile. But only if you're here for the whole 90, the whole 100%. You can't quit 25 or 50 or 75 or 90 or even 95% of the way through your journey. You got to stick with it. I will until, I came across a good friend of mine on Thursday. We went to a networking event here in Las Vegas. There's a gentleman named Darren Kidd that wrote a book, I Will Until. I haven't read the book. It's on the way. I ordered it. I'm getting it. But this gentleman is a phenomenal entrepreneur. I've known him for 20 years. And part of when he used to do speeches, because I used to watch him from stage, he's a great speaker. But his motto was, I will until. And he talks about a lot of different challenges that he went through in his life, making it and becoming a multimillionaire in life outside of crypto. Now, the cool thing is that he's involved in crypto too. I didn't even know that he was a crypto guy until Thursday. But long story short, I Will Until, the book, I believe, I'm looking forward to reading it, is going to talk a lot about what I just talked about today. I will until. So one of the biggest things that you can do while you're on here today, before we hop off, which we're going to do quick, I want to get you guys out of here. We've been going for a little over an hour. Is just make up your mind. I will until. There's no doubt that you can create whatever you want in life financially with cryptocurrency. You just got to stick with it long enough, make some mistakes. If you ain't lost any money in crypto, if you haven't, sent some money to an address where you couldn't get it back, or, made some mistakes, fallen for a scam, bought a rug pull. If you haven't done any of that yet, I got good news for you. You probably will. Hopefully, if you can watch some of these YouTube channels and get some education, we can save you from some of that misery. But at the same time, you just got to take your lumps, man. Like I heard it said, like you can read a book for 10 years on how to play basketball, or just about anything that you want to do in life. You could read a book and study it for 10 years, but until you actually go and do it and experience it in real life, you're not going to really be any good at it. It's like Mike Tyson talks about, everybody has got a plan and is good until they get punched in the face. Well, folks, that's life is good. You want to get punched in the face a few times. If you've gotten punched in the face in crypto a few times, the good news is that means you're just right on the verge of some massive success. And once again, we're right here. We're right here. In literally tomorrow, Bitcoin could blow up. We don't know. I know that we got an election coming here in a few months, and I believe that the powers that be want the market to be looking good. They are conspiring in our favor for the time being. They don't always. For the most part, the elite of the world are doing everything they can to smash our dreams and to hold us down. But right now, at this moment in life, because they want to get a certain person reelected, I very much believe we're going to see some amazing things happen in the financial markets. And this is our opportunity to take advantage of that, so that when things flip around and start headed back in the wrong direction, you've got enough money to where you don't care anymore. I promise you, when you have millions of dollars, you don't care if gas is $2 a gallon or $10 a gallon. If you got millions of dollars, you don't care if hamburger meat is $3 a pound or $7 a pound. My whole goal in life is to help you insulate yourself from the things that are happening in this world, the inflation, the money printing, everything that is going on. A lot of it can be handled by just having enough money to where you don't care. Like I had some friends that their rent literally a couple of years ago after COVID, their rent went from like $800 a month all the way up to $1,600 a month. They couldn't afford it. But guess what? If you're a millionaire, you don't care if your rent's $800 or $1,600 or $3,600. Like, just the best way to not care about all of how expensive everything in the world is becoming is just make more money. And that's what we're going to do here. So with that, folks, I will go back to the chat one time real quick. So Eric says 100%. I think he's talking about, the 19 out of 20 people don't do what he says. And so he just focuses on the 5%. My boss thinks it's funny to bring up Bitcoin in front of customers and laughs at me for investing. Customers ask a lot of questions while he discredits. Yeah. Well, you'll get the last laugh, Deadwood. You will get the last laugh, my friend. By the end of the conversation, most customers understand. Yep, it's so true. I mean, if you look at Bitcoin as a hedge for inflation, if you would have owned one Bitcoin, back in, pick a year, you'd have owned one Bitcoin in 2010 or 2015, and you look at the buying power that it had then versus the buying power that it had now versus your money. Like if you had whatever $15,000 in cash back in 2015, you could have bought a crummy car, but you wouldn't have been able to buy much of a car. And now here in 2024, 15 grand just get you a junker. But if you had a Bitcoin that you had bought back in 2015, which actually back in 2015, Bitcoin was only like $500. So if you had a Bitcoin, but even if, let's say the Bitcoin was 15 grand back then, now you own a Bitcoin and it's 68,000, you could still go out and buy a pretty nice car for 68 grand. And so it's just, anybody that pays any attention cannot argue with the fact that Bitcoin has been a much better store of value for the last 15 years than just about anything else in the world. In fact, I believe that it's been the best store of value, better than anything else in the world. And so, facts tell and stories sell. And unfortunately, a lot of people just aren't looking at the facts yet. Can't wait for the bull run, man. It is on the way. We will be some happy campers. Amen. We all are going to be happy. I'm excited. I was telling Eric, and I was also talking to a gentleman named Sal the other day, and I was talking about, I've got this property in the Bahamas that I'm looking at. One of my dreams and one of my goals towards the end of this bull market is to buy a vacation rental in the Bahamas. We really love Exuma, Bahamas. And so one of the things that I'm most excited about is once we own this place is having retreats and being able to have 4, 5, 6, 10 of you come out to the Bahamas where we do special masterminds and dream building sessions and goal setting sessions and just have incredible food and fun and sun and beach. And man, we got big things coming to those of us that are part of this community. I'm excited for our future. And with that, folks, God bless you all. You go have a good Monday. I'm going to hop off of here, go throw on some workout clothes and get together with Eric and have an incredible workout. And I am really looking forward to showing you guys some before and after pictures of my physique and myself, and really looking forward to you guys seeing a Brad Varnell that is under 200 pounds. 199 pounds is my goal. I'll figure out where I need to be from there, but I'm really excited about this journey and looking forward to you guys seeing me have success in that area of my life too. So with that, folks, thank you all for being here. Amy, thank you. Bless you. I appreciate you so much. And it's been 8 years since I explored this world. You all have a great day. You must be talking about the Bahamas. So with that, folks, God bless you. Have a great day, and we will see you on Wednesday. Don't forget, we've got the Microcap Gem live stream on Wednesday where we're going to be going over a bunch of the tokens that are going to be 25, 50, 100x and over the next 12 months that help us create this financial freedom in our lives. So God bless. Have a great day. We'll see you Wednesday.